Hi, my name's Dylan. I make music and content under the name Hearingson. And today I'm going to show you how to find a sub-bass sound in the live library, add it into our tune, and then process it a bit with Saturator to give it some grit and to make it fit with the other sounds. So I'm working on this kind of breaks dubby thing. It's a bit slow, 128, and it sounds like this. So it's just that 8-bar loop for now. I've got a few parts going on which I'll walk through in a sec. But what I'm looking to do is all the parts are kind of calling and responding to each other, and I need another bass sound to answer the Reese part. So I'm looking for like a jungly sub kind of thing with a bit of pitch drop on it that'll respond at the end of the phrase to what the Reese bass is doing at the front of the phrase. So let's go over to Push and do that. So here on Push, you can see all my channels. I've got my drums, which is actually a multi-track recording, but it's all grouped up and folded away, so it's just taking up one track on Push, which is nice. I've got a Reese bass. That is a sample from my modular being played in simpler. Drift is making some nice dub chords. I've got a video about how to make that sound, which you can check out. I've got a Drift effecty weird sound, and a suitcase piano, which is a Rhodes piano from the electric keyboards pack by Ableton that I use all the time. So because I want to add a bass sound, I'm going to go back to my Reese track and I'm going to click plus to add a MIDI track. The reason I selected my Reese track is so that my bass sounds are kind of next to each other. So I'll add MIDI track. What I could do here is just add an instrument like Drift or Wavetable and start editing that. But what I want to show today is how the sounds section of the browser on Push and in Live works. So if I go into sounds, what that shows me is all of the presets, all of the instrument presets and sounds that I've got installed in my live library. It's a huge long list to start with, which is not so helpful because I know what I'm looking for in this case. I want a bass sound. So that's where the filtering comes in. So if I push filter, you'll see that I can choose a number of ways to filter the content, what kind of content it is it a loop, is it MPE enabled, that sort of thing. I'm going to go with the sounds label, which has just got categories for all the different kinds of sounds that are installed. And as I said, I want a bass sound, so I'll select the bass category. And you can see that the bass category is organized into 808 bass, electric bass, synth bass, and upright bass. Because I want that subby boom kind of thing, I'm going to go with the 808 bass category. That's probably got what I want. And we're just going to listen to some of those sounds. So that pitch is a bit low, but that one there drops off in pitch. The other ones are all kind of static. I want that sort of descending kind of sound. So let's load that one up and try it on the keyboard and see what it sounds like. I'm just going to change the color of that track so that it's a bit easier to see. Yeah, there we go. Might even make it the same blue as the other one. I think it's that one. Yeah. So now both my bass tracks are blue. So the notes for the bass line are somewhere around here. That sounds quite cool, but it's not very gritty sounding. I think I'm going to add Saturator and try and get it a bit more distorted so it sort of fits with that Reese sound. So let's go plus, and we're going to add a device. We're going to choose from the audio effects, and we're going to scroll along to S, which is where Saturator is. So where are we? There we go. And we're going to load up Saturator. It has a whole bunch of presets, including an 808 bass shaper, but I'm just going to load the default preset and start from scratch. So in Live 12.1, which has been in beta for a while now, there's a new curve in Saturator. They updated the device. So it's got analog, clipping, soft sine, but this new one, bass shaper, is the one that I want to try out because it's kind of designed for this purpose. That's not doing very much. Let's turn the drive up. Yeah, that's cool. It's quite mid-rangey though. So I've got the right kind of drive happening, but what we'll find is that these color amount knobs for the high and lows really let us sculpt what frequencies are distorting. So if I turn the low one up, it sort of pushes everything into the high end. And if I turn it right down, it gets really subby. I do want a bit of high frequency distortion so that you can kind of hear the front of the note before all the sub energy comes in. So let's play with the high amount and see what that does. So that sort of feels like it's pushing and pulling the mid-range a bit, and I don't want too much mid-range because that'll conflict with the drum break. Let's turn that down a little bit. Not quite. That sounds pretty cool. So let's roll the tune and see how that sounds with the other parts. Quite cool. It was a bit loud. It's often easier to hear yourself playing if you have the sound you're playing turned up a bit more than the rest of the elements. Let's hit capture, which will grab what I just played as a clip. You can see it there, 8 bars long. And we're going to play that back, and I'm just going to adjust the level and sort of roughly get it at the right level with the other sounds. Kind of in the ballpark. Okay, let's go back to the computer and recap. Alright, that was pretty quick actually. So what I've done is I've found a sub-bass sound in the library, I've added it, I've saturated it, and I've recorded a quick part to go with the rest of that 8-bar loop that I've been working on. I think that's in the ballpark. I need to work on the way that the respace, the sub-bass and the drums all fit together. There's a lot of low-end energy going on there and the mix is a bit all over the place. But I think that'll be the sort of next step. That part responding to the res is what I was looking to do. Cool. So that's how you find a sub-bass sound in the live library using the filtering and the categories, and then saturate it with the bass shaper curve of Saturator from Live 12.1 to make a nice sub-bass sound. Cool. Thanks.